Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mocha Says. Today, we're going to be reviewing Real Housewives of Atlanta. The new season just dropped, season 17, episode 1. Let's get into it. All right, so we have a lot of peach holders, we have two newbies, and we have Cynthia, who is a friend of this season. So they start out the episode, and Cynthia walks into this room where there's this TV, and she sits down in this chair, turns the TV off, is playing clips of the season's Real Housewives of Atlanta, and then she turns around towards the camera and says, "Now what else is going on?" Cynthia is a very beautiful woman. But in that moment, she looked like an artificial blown up character. In that intro, her cheeks were too blown up. It just looked like she needs to put a halt on the cosmetic procedures because she's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. She still is beautiful. But in that moment, in that clip, in that frame, you could really see that the work she has done is like getting excessive now. But again, she's very beautiful, always has been, and still is. But I just want her to sort of be careful with the cosmetic procedures moving forward, because I feel like she's sort of done enough, a little bit too much. So they're showing the montage of the ladies. So Phaedra's son, she's talking to her son and her oldest son in the kitchen at her home, and he's talking about, how she needs to get a rich man. They're just having a little back and forth talk, but he is so cute and grown up. He's still a teenager. He very much looks like a teenager, but he just looks so sweet, and it looks like they have like a cute little relationship. It was a really cute clip. And yeah, Phaedra, her look now is even like last season, she's doing this blonde hair kind of thing. I guess she's just being experimental with her looks. It's different from the earlier seasons. I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not mad at people for being expressive and trying out different looks. I'm not the biggest fan of like the blonde hair, her recent makeup styles or outfits. But hey, do your thing, girl. All right, so Kelly's oldest daughter is now in college, and she has the cutest dorm room setup. It's so cute and bright and boho looking. So yeah, that's something new in Kelly's life. That was shown in the montage, and then we go into the first like real scene, which is Angela at her home. She's talking to her husband Charles, and they're barbecuing burgers outside. And the Charles sits down. They sit down. Charles tries the burger, and he said it's good, but it looks very dry to me. And then he was coughing a little bit afterwards, and asked his daughter to bring him some water. So yeah, I think that burger was a little dry. It may have tasted good, but it didn't look. I don't know. I'm a sauce kind of person, so I don't like having dry food, especially a dry burger or hot dog or sandwich. I just can't do it. We have to add some kind of condiments to it, but he said it was good. So Angela's talking to her husband outside while he's enjoying his dry burger, and he asked his daughter to bring him water. And while he's coughing up this dry burger, coughing because the burger's so dry, and Angela goes, "Make sure it's clear. Make sure the drink is clear." And he's like, "What? Why you say that?" And she's like, "Because if it's not clear, that can mean someone drugged it. Someone put something in it." And he's like, "Oh," he like chuckles a little bit. Come to find out, her husband went on a podcast and they asked him, "What made you get married?" He said, "I think someone put something in my drink that night." What? Why do these men insist on embarrassing their wives and girlfriends? I don't understand. Even the people, they show the clip of that podcast, and even the hosts of the podcast were looking like, "Oh, wow." Like, why would you say that? So he apologized. He's like, "I apologize to you. I made it clear later on that didn't happen." He also said, "Oh, I didn't say you're the one who drugged me." And Angela's like, "Well, who else?" So, yeah. Angela's in her confessional talking about she is over the rumors of her husband. She will not be addressing any more rumors anymore. Whatever the rumors are, she's going to let them fly and let people talk about them amongst themselves. Um, I mean, I don't know about that because at the end of this episode, she's getting into it with Phaedra again about the rumor that we left off last season with, which was Phaedra's friend came to Angela at a Hawks game and said that she knew of her husband cheating or something like that. So, I mean, she says that, but even later on this episode, she's engaging in rumors surrounding her husband. So, I'm not buying that at all. So at the end of that little scene with Angela, she gets up and asks her husband for some love, for a hug, and he's just I don't. Maybe it's his personality. Maybe he is genuinely just an awkward person. But I'm really not buying it. He is acting like he doesn't want to give her a hug. He's like, oh, okay, gives her a hug. And she makes a joke. She's like, touch my booty. He's like, no. Which, I mean, I'm not a big PDA person, so the cameras are there. That's understandable. But it's just like, give the girl a hug. And don't act like you're disgusted by it. Like, I don't understand. It's okay. It's these husbands, they don't act like they like their wives a lot of the time. And it's very, I get secondhand embarrassment from it. All right, so next scene we have Portia, and she's meeting up with the new peach holder, Miss K Michelle. Yeah, so K Michelle's doing like a photo shoot, and oh my god, you guys. So I in my mind, I was like, oh, K Michelle, nice, nice. In my mind, I was thinking she's the one who sings, Love never knew what I was missing. That is not K Michelle. That's Keisha Cole. So I looked it up and I was like, oh wait, that's Keisha Cole, not K Michelle. So I don't know. I never watched Love and Hip Hop. I hear she was on that show, but I very much know that name K Michelle, and I need to look into it and see what songs I know from her because I know her from her music because I don't know her from reality TV or anything else. Um, so, anyways, that's something I need to do. But yeah, I thought it was so funny that this whole time, ever since they did the pilot, ever since I found out K Michelle was going to be on this season, I was literally thinking it was Keisha Cole. Like I was thinking the person who sang that song was K Michelle, but I knew it was Keisha Cole. I just had them confused. They also don't look too much like different from each other either. So, speaking of looks, next Portia, she's sitting here in her confessional talking about how people always get K Michelle and Portia confused for each other, because they look so much alike. I don't think they look alike. I was like, Portia, you're reaching with that one. They're both beautiful, very beautiful women, but they do not look alike to me. So they go and sit down on a couch and they're having a little talk. And Kay talks about how she's getting into country music now. And she went to the Beyonce concert when Beyonce came to Atlanta, and Beyonce had sent her flowers and a cute note card. Saying she looks forward to meeting her at the concert. I'm like, okay, I love that. That is very cute. And Portia says her divorce is final. And I have to say the confessionals, they are so zoomed out this episode, which is not a problem. It's just something I noticed. I feel like they're zoomed out more than usual. Um, but yeah. And so yeah, Portia mentioned that she's having a dinner party for all the ladies and wants them to bring their significant others. And K Michelle mentions that she just got married a few weeks ago. Her husband, he is a dentist, and they've known each other for a long time since they were in ninth grade, she says. So, and Shamia and Portia, she mentions that they are now ex BFFs. And Kay talks about how she gets teary eyed as they're talking, and she talks about how she has had a hard time with the women in Atlanta and with bullying in Atlanta. And it's so sad. She starts crying, can tell it really has affected her, and people I have been mean to her. So yeah, that was sort of sad, but it seems like she's going through it. She said those people were trying to like push her out of Atlanta. And so, I mean, I never watched the last reality TV show she was on. I'm sure some of that was shown on there, but I didn't watch that and never saw that. So yeah, anyways, I felt for her in that moment. I was like, oh, but I think she's okay. She's fine. So in the next season, we are at Shamia's house. Kelly comes to visit. And Shamia says that Kelly is her best friend forever now. What? I mean, that's cool, but I'm just like, I feel like, I don't know. It's just so I'm really interested in learning more about the like psychology of Shamia. You know, she talked about last season how she had a thing with people pleasing. Um, and then like the way the dynamics were between Shamia and Portia and their friendship were also sort of odd to me because, or off, unbalanced, I would say, because it felt like, I don't know, Shamia was more of a friend to Portia than Portia was to Shamia. And yeah, it's just so interesting. And also, when Shamia was introduced to the show, she was originally Candy's friend, a really good friend of Candy's. And then she started being really close with Portia. And I'm just curious, like, why is Shamia, like, for me, I know some people are like that, but for me personally, for me to call you my best friend, that's meaningful. And a lot of people aren't going to be called my best friend. A lot of people won't even, become true. Like, even for me to call you a friend, that takes a lot because I have a lot of people who are associates and acquaintance and, maybe nice people that I know. But to call someone a friend and a best friend, that is something that I just can't, those are titles I can't just give to every and anybody. And she seems to give them out pretty willy-nilly. I don't know, it's just so interesting to me. It's very interesting to me. I want to know more about that psychology behind that, why that is. Maybe it's just her personality, but I don't know. I feel like with the people pleasing and how the friendship with between Portia and Shamia was like lopsided, unbalanced, it makes me think there's something deeper there. All right, so they talk about how they just missed each other so much. And Shamia is putting together a basket, like a care package for her daughter who's in college. And Shamia's sitting here putting a bottle of wine in there. She has condoms. Kelly says she thinks she saw a pregnancy test. I'm like, oh my gosh, Shamia. Like, that is actually crazy. I mean, condoms are good, but like, I don't know. It's a little out there to be just giving her condoms in a basket when you're her mom's friend, and then giving her a bottle of wine. I don't know. Anyway, it was. They were laughing about that. I don't know. They thought it was funny for the most part. So Shamia, I think Shamia looks cute in her confessional looks. I like the looks in her confessionals. I do. She has a silver number and then she has a purple number, and I think she was wearing pink in one other one in this episode. I personally like Shamia's looks. I feel like she's very hit or miss with her style. She misses the mark a lot of times. Especially at Portia's birthday party, Portia's dinner event. She has this mohawk and it's so ugly. I'm like, why are you wearing that? But yeah, it's just not cute. It's not cute. But Shamia, she's very hit or miss with her styles, but I like her confessional looks in this episode. So Shamia now is running a rum company. And yeah, she talks about how her and Portia are not really friends anymore, and talks about how they left off after the reunion. After she saw the reunion, she really noticed something Portia was saying that she didn't really catch during the reunion in in real time. So she had texted Portia after, and pretty much Portia texted her back cussing her out, and Shamia mimes out Portia cussing her out through text. And it was sort of funny. It was pretty funny. But yeah, oh my God. I don't know about this new BFF dynamic duo, Shamia and Kelly. I'm watching this with open mind, but like this is like the excessive squeaking is annoying and it feels very forced. Like it's like, when someone laughs about something but it's really not funny, but they're laughing about it like it's so hilarious. I'm like, it's annoying. It's annoying. And I feel like that happens a lot with Shamia and Kelly. And it definitely happens a lot with Kelly just on her own. But yeah, there's a lot of that like squeaking and excessive like talk, laughing about things that aren't funny. So Shamia's husband Gerald, he she tells him about Portia's party and asks him if he's gonna go, and he's like, oh, I'll let you know. Shamia's husband is not with the Real Housewives of Atlanta mess. He wants no parts of it, but I like that he supports his wife in what she wants to do. But he wants no parts of it. And honestly, I don't fault him. And if I was Shamia, I would be happy too, because these shows try to break up relationships. And later on in the episode, I feel like there is some like poking that Drew does to Shamia's relationship. So look, Gerald, stay far away. Let your wife do her thing, but stay far away. I think that is a very safe and wise way to move. All right, so next we have Portia's dinner party, and she's getting ready and everything, and people start to show up. Cynthia shows up, and she has like this not Bob Marley. She has these locks on her phone, like phone case, and it's supposed to be her boyfriend or something. She FaceTimes her boyfriend and lets people talk to him. And yeah, I mean he has these long dreads, really. I don't know where he's from or anything, but he has these long dreads looking very, I don't know, Jamaican like. But yeah, okay, that's cute. And Drew, she shows up. She says that her ex Ralph is still in the basement of their house. And she shows up and she's just acting like so secretive about her friend and who she's dating. I don't know. And she's like giggling. I'm like, why are you giggling? Nothing's funny. And then what's really odd though is she had this man on FaceTime. She FaceTimes him when she gets there, and she has him on FaceTime the whole event. Just chilling on FaceTime. She has FaceTime, she has little ring lights, she has the phone propped up in front of her when she sits down at the table. It's very odd behavior. Very odd behavior. Very odd. And okay, Michelle, she shows up with her husband. I like her pantsuit. Is this green pantsuit, but it's like a pretty green, and it has like these little furry black accent things on the end of the sleeves. It's very cute. I like it. And K Michelle has such a cute country accent. I don't like everybody's country accent, but hers is cute. And yeah, so she talks a little bit more about her husband. So they've known each other. They met in ninth grade. They've been dating on and off ever since. And K Michelle went on this dating reality show, and she said it was pretty much to let him know that she has options and to hold his feet to the fire, and say pretty much you better get with it. And so, anyways, I guess that's how she got him to marry her. I mean, look, that's fine. I don't know much about them, so I don't have much to say. It sort of is giving a little bit of desperation, but let me not judge too much so quickly, so soon. And so, K Michelle is a singer, very well known. Even though I'm confused on what her big hits are, I know who K Michelle is. I've heard of that name. Yes. And Drew, she talks about she's in her confessional. They ask if she knows K Michelle. She's like, oh. She's acting like she doesn't know K Michelle, and she's being very shady in her confessional. And I'm just like, why the shade? For what? Like, for what? And also, you're lying. You are lying. You know who K Michelle is. You've heard of her name. And not only that, but I know you know who she is because you are an R&B singer yourself. You're a singer yourself in the same city. So please stop. And I just think it's so interesting. I feel like most of the time in Atlanta, well, not all the time, and maybe I'm tripping, but I feel like a lot of times when new people come on, I don't know, it's like the excessive shade. It's just like a new person comes on, why are you giving them shade at all, really, when you just met them and you're claiming you don't know them? Like, get to know them first and then don't like them. Like, for example, on Beverly Hills, Amanda, the new woman on on Beverly Hills, Amanda, the women don't like her, but they weren't shady to her from the bat. They weren't giving her a hard time right off the bat. They got to know her, determined they didn't like her, and treated her accordingly. So I just sort of wish they would sort of act like that and not be so shady. It's just like unnecessary shade. You look salty. You look like a hater. From the jump, this person didn't do anything, and you don't know them like that. So I don't understand why Drew did that. I don't think that's. I don't like that. I don't like it. So they're talking at the dinner party, and someone points out Portia's man is like behind her, and she's just acting so nervous and shy, like a 12-year-old girl who sees her crush at school. And she's like acting like she's like trying to hide and turn her head, and I'm just like, why are you acting like that? I don't understand. And then in her confessional, she's saying, this is like a big deal. I'm so nervous with him around, especially like to meet everybody. She talks about how she's like, I didn't even introduce, what's his name? The hot dog guy. The hot dog guy, the guy she had a baby with. I didn't even introduce my friends to him or my ex-husband. So me introducing them to him is like a really big deal. And I'm just like, girl, you didn't have to introduce your ex-husband to the friend group because he was already introduced to the friend group by someone else in the friend group because they were married to each other and you stole her husband. I'm just like, what do you mean? Like they never met your ex-husband? Girl, he was on the show and you guys went to his house to hang out with his wife at the time. Anyway, so yeah, so I there's okay, so recently this man who is Mike, who is Portia's boyfriend, he recently came out, like in real life outside of the show, he recently came out and said that he's an actor, that's his profession, but he recently came out and said that I guess he was on a podcast being interviewed or something like that, and I saw the clip of it, but they asked him about reality TV, like how he feels about being on reality TV. And he's like, I mean, I had experience on reality TV, Real Housewives of Atlanta to be exact. And that was a paid acting gig. And he was like, it's not for me. So he came out and said that. And then Portia, she has said on her social media that that is a bold-faced lie. I mean, you guys, I would not be surprised at all. A lot of reality TV, yes, some of it is based on true events and things, but a lot of it is fake. Okay, this is a side thing. I used to work, one of the jobs I had before, there was this coworker I had in accounting. And you know those shows where people go buy houses or get their houses upgraded, like redesigned. So she went on a show where it was one of those home improvement shows or whatever, or like home shopping shows. So she went on the show. They were going to be buying a house. They had a dog. So they on the show, they were looking at homes to buy. They chose the house they wanted to buy. They went out and bought furniture on the show. They had their cute little dog in it. So she left for a while to go film that show. She came back to the office and told us all about it. Girl, this was in a different city. They did not buy a house. They were just paid actors on reality TV. So they literally on the show went to go look at different homes with a real estate agent. They were not buying a house. They acted like they bought a house. They went out to buy furniture. They were acting. It was all acting and staged. Everything about it was fake. Fake. So I'm not surprised. I believe him. Of course, we don't know for facts, but I mean, I'm not surprised by this at all. I'm sure a lot of them are acting things out, especially with these men. So, it is what it is. So the ladies asked Mr. Mike, Portia's man, how they met, and Portia walks away. And then they ask him how they met. That's I think K. Michelle asked him this, and he goes, he's like, man, he takes a second to answer. He's like, we met through God. Like he was trying to come up with an excuse, and he says we met through God, and they're like, what? You met through God? Okay, so I mean that's not really helping. That's not really helping Portia's claims that they were actually in a relationship. So Pinky Cole is introduced in her confessional, and she is a very successful entrepreneur. She's the founder of Slutty Vegan. I've heard of it, never been there or ate that. I wonder if that is all over the U.S. I feel like Slutty Vegan, I may have had it when I went on a trip to L.A. I'm not sure, but or if it's only in Atlanta, I've never been there. But I feel like Slutty Vegan is a restaurant that I went to. I've ate food from there in LA. Maybe it was a different place. But anyway, she's a founder of Slutty Vegan. She says that it is a $100 million business. So we love to see that. And Kelly shows up with her boyfriend, Trey. So they're sitting at the table at this point at the dinner party. And Kelly shows up a little late. And she walks in with her boyfriend, Trey. And K. Michelle, she's sitting next to Charles and Angela, and she says, oh, I know him. And she's talking about, she said, K. Michelle says he gets around. Everybody knows him. Everybody knows Trey. And Kelly, just with her extra excessive self, she's in her confessional, talking about her boyfriend. She's just like laughing. And I'm like, girl, what is funny? She's like, well, I'm divorced and I have a boyfriend. And I'm just like, it's just, I don't know. It just seems excessive and it seems fake and forced. The laughing and giggling. And I understand like boyfriends or significant others can make you a little giddy, but this wasn't that. And I'm just like, why are you laughing so much? It's not funny. Anyway, okay, so let's see. Okay, so they're at the dinner table, like I mentioned, and they're waiting on Drew. No, they're waiting on Shamia, and Charles says they're waiting for SWV to get here, talking about K. Michelle, Drew, and Shamia since they're all singers. And, Charles is sitting next to K. Michelle, and they're having a little back and forth kiki. They seem like they have, like, I don't know, a good little chemistry. Like, their personalities seem to go well together. Angela's laughing, too. But, yeah, they seem... they seem like they literally feed off of each other's energy and personalities. So, Pinky Cole and Shamia are at, I think, Shamia's house. And, yeah, Shamia's house. And Shamia, they're late. They're waiting on Shamia's husband to come and change and go to the party with them. So she calls her husband and is like, oh, hey, where are you? And she's like, I can't come. I'm stuck in Charlotte. And Shamia is just shocked. She's like, what? She's like, stuck in Charlotte. So she said she picked out an outfit for him and everything, but oh well, they start to go to Portia's dinner party. I don't think her husband was ever going to go to begin with, and I don't blame him. And I think that if he just told Shamia and expressed that to her, she would be understanding, because the more any couples around these people, they're going to try and get between them and break them up to create the drama and entertainment for the viewers. It just happens time and time again. It's how it rolls. So shoot, I would want to keep my husband far away from those women. All right, so Shamia shows up to the party, and she has this mohawk. It's like short in the front, and it's so long. It's like down to the bottom of her shoulder blades in the back, tapering off as it gets lower and lower. It's not cute. I don't like it. And Pinky Cole, she shows up. She's like, hi, everybody. She goes around talking to people. I have to say, just so far, I'm keeping an open mind. I'm keeping an open mind, but so far, my first impression of her personality has me unimpressed. But as I said, I'm still observing and I'm keeping an open mind. Um, Drew says that, was it Drew or someone else? No, it's Kelly, because Kelly owns, she's in the food industry as well. She said she reached out to Pinky Cole and Pinky left her on red, so she didn't seem to like that so much. She says that in her confessional. So yeah, they're at this table. Drew has this man on FaceTime. I just love K Michelle. I think K Michelle's such a good pick, such a good cast for this show. I like her personality. She is funny. She's funny, but she's funny naturally. She's funny, and I think it's not forced. And she radiates confidence. And I can tell in front of the camera, she's not trying too hard when they're filming. She seems very natural in front of the camera. So, yeah, I mean, of course, this is my first time seeing her on reality TV. I'm still keeping an open mind, but I'm like, yes, for K Michelle. I like her. So they end up playing this game. They're playing a game with like questions about relationships. And so Portia's asking questions to different people, and then she goes to Shamia and she's like, Shamia, this question's for you. She said, what's one physical thing from an ex that you would take from them and give to your husband to upgrade him? She's like, nothing can upgrade my husband. And it was like, yeah, okay, that's good. And then here comes Drew trying to be messy. Where is your husband? He's not here with you? Anyway, she's like asking her where her husband is, and she's like, he's not here. And she's like, I think she said she's where your man is. She's like, oh, he's traveling? And she's like, yeah, good guess. That's right. But when Shamia says she's being nice about it, but she is not being nasty, and this is what what's her name? Drew, she tries to act like Shamia is being snarky with her when she wasn't. Now it gets snarky because when she answers her and says, yeah, he's traveling, Drew is like, oh, are you okay? I sense a little hostility where you're answering these questions. Yes, there's a little extra energy. No, there wasn't. There wasn't any extra energy, but then there became extra energy because you're trying to antagonize. And so they get a little like petty back and forth. And she is like, girl, focus on your FaceTime. No, she calls it her Zoom call. She said, focus on your Zoom call. Anyways, it just doesn't make sense. Even like they show a confessional with Cynthia and she's like, I don't know why Drew is confused why Shamia's husband isn't here. He's never around. No one's expecting him to be here. Why is she expecting him to be here? Like, that's what I'm saying. They poke at people's relationships. So Gerald, stay far away. And they show Phaedra in her confessional and she is like, this girl Drew is literally on FaceTime with her boyfriend for the whole 3+ hours of this event, which I just think is so weird. It's weird. So Portia has a question, and this question to Portia is, when's the last time you and Mike had sex? And they both pause for a second. They look at each other, and Portia says, 9 months ago? And everyone's like, oh, 9 months ago? What? So that again, it just doesn't help the confession that Mike made that they weren't really in a relationship and that he was a paid actor. 9 months ago, my goodness, they couldn't even lie about that. That's crazy. So yeah, everyone's like, wow, okay. So the men end up leaving. They go to smoke cigars outside, and the women go to have a talk in the living room. And they showed Shmia, she did like a general apology after last season's reunion. Talking to the cast, she says, I'm sorry for anyone I may have hurt with anything I said, which is so interesting because I can't truly remember everything from the reunion or last season, but like, I don't know, why did you need to give a general, did she do anything crazy that needed to give a apology to everyone? I don't know. So that's that. It's very clear during the sit down that Shamia and Drew are not on a on good standing. They don't like each other, and I'm really not really too interested in their dynamic. I think that's fine. And then here we go with Phaedra and Angela and this friend that she has who approaches Angela at the Hawks game saying that her husband was cheating. That gets brought up, and Phaedra says that she has footage of the Hawks game and audio to prove that that didn't happen or whatever, or that she didn't send him. And then so they ask her in her confessional, they're like, "You have footage of this?" And she like pauses. She's like, well, no, but I asked for it. I asked for it. So it's like Phaedra just sitting there lying when they're talking in the living room. Anyways, thinking into a little thing with that. And K Michelle, she is over it with the girl. She's like, "Child, I'm done with the drama. I'm about to go," because it's like petty drama anyways. It seems so manufactured. It seems so inauthentic. It seems so forced, and it seems so last season. And K Michelle's like, "Ugh, this is too much for me. I'm leaving." So she gets up and she walks to go outside, chills with the guys outside. And Kelly asked Portia about the text exchange between her and Shamia. The heated text exchange they had after the reunion. And Portia says, "Well, I'm not gonna talk about that with anyone except for Shamia." And then, after that, everyone dispersed. Pretty much everyone moves outside, and Portia's boyfriend addresses everybody. It's like the whole moment when they tap the glass, and it's like, "Everyone, the host has something to say." This man, he thanks everyone for attending, for coming to the house, and it's just so odd because that man does not live there. Him and Portia are not married, and they're also in Portia's ex-husband's, the home that Portia shared with her ex-husband. It's so weird, and all the ladies in her confessional is like, "What is going on? This man acts like he just paid the mortgage." It's it just makes no sense. It makes no sense, but it's so funny. It doesn't make sense so much that it's comical. And so that's pretty much the end of the episode. So I'm still gonna watch it. I'm not a hater of this season or this episode so far, or this season. I'm sorry, this season so far. I'm still open to it. I'm interested in learning these new characters that came in, K Michelle and Kiki Cole. First impressions, K Michelle. I am here for Miss K Michelle. Kiki Cole, I'm not really impressed by her. This first introduction, but I'm keeping an open mind, not judging too harshly. Um, yeah, Kelly, I don't know. She's not my favorite. I don't dislike her, but it's just she's very excessive. She's a lot, and that's fine. It's just her. That's just her personality. Shamia, I'm confused by Shamia, but I'm gonna keep watching. And Angela, oh my God, Angela and her husband, Lord have mercy. I would love to see more of Charles and Keisha Cole. But Charles and Angela, they give me secondhand embarrassment. I'm gonna keep watching though. I am. So, I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I don't know what else to say. Like, I enjoyed it. I wasn't like too impressed by it. I think I gave you guys all my thoughts throughout. So, yeah, that is that. Looking forward to the next episode and what the rest of the season has to offer. I am Team K Michelle. Let me know what you guys think. How do you like the new lady so far from first impressions? Did you like the episode? Do you think that you get secondhand embarrassment from some of these husbands, specifically Charles, sometimes? And what do you think is going on with Shamia? Like, I don't want to. I don't know. Just Shamia, like with this thing with like making everyone her BFF, or like, I don't know. Do you think that there's something deeper with Shamia, like psychologically, like for the as far as the reasoning why she maneuvers through friendships the way she has throughout the show, her time on the show? Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.